Welcome to all the students once again. We have started the unit 4, that is forensic accounting. The 2 lectures have been completed and this is the last lecture, and in this we will see the ethical principles and responsibilities. So let us first start with the ethics and values. What actually ethics is and value is. See, ethics deals with what is good and bad and with moral duty and obligation. All persons, whether in business, government, a university or in any other enterprise, are concerned with ethics. Ethics deals basically what we have said, what is good, what is bad, what is wrong and what is right. Okay, so as we know that only personal values and a sense of business ethics can help a strategist to distinguish between moral and immoral use of politics and power as a means to attain organizational goals. So behavioral standards relating to a set of principles, values and ideals for human conduct, this is how ethics may be defined. Business ethics is concerned with truth and justice and has a variety of aspects such as expectations of society, fair competition, advertising, public relations, social responsibilities, consumer autonomy and corporate behavior in the home country as well as abroad. So how you conduct your business, how you maintain the public relations, having a fair competition with the other competitors in the market. So this all thing, corporate behavior, this all thing is involved in business ethics. Ethics deal with one's ability to distinguish right from wrong, good from evil, propriety from impropriety, and commitment to do the right thing. So moral development is a prerequisite to our ethical decision making. Ethical behavior is driven by a need to avoid punishment or by deference to power. So this is what ethics means. Ethics deals with what is bad and what is good, what is right and what is wrong. And it comes under as a moral duty. One has to establish that what things or how to conduct yourself when you are doing a particular thing. That is what ethics is. Values are essential to ethics. Ethics is concerned with human actions and the choice of those actions. Means how we perform and what are the choices we made by performing those actions. Okay, so ethics evaluates those actions and values that underline them. Ethics is related to issue of right and wrong. Values determine these issues of right and wrong. Values are learnt, not taught. Means they are learnt, they are not taught. Okay? Ethics are concerned with human actions, that what actions we perform. But why we perform those actions, that is what value is. Okay? That is why values are learned and not taught. And value is an essential to ethics. So this is what our ethics and value means. And in this profession also, there are some ethics and values to be performed by the forensic accountant while conducting his work. Let us move on to the ethical principles. So, fundamental principles of ethical behavior. See, the nature of accountancy and the complexity of work that accountants, tax advisors, insolvency practitioners and auditors do means that this work needs to be trusted and demonstrate the highest standards of professional conduct. Then only one can understand or one can believe in such professionals that whatever they are doing is doing for the best of the organization. So that trust is gained only when they demonstrate the high standards of professional conduct. Okay, so the code of ethics and its obligations are therefore a key part of the accounting profession's commitment to these standards. So we will see the fundamental principles of the ethical behavior one by one. So these are the fundamental principles of ethical behavior. In this, first comes your honesty. Honesty is the best policy which has 3 basic dimensions. Those are truthfulness, one should be truth to his work, sincerity and the open-mindedness. It means that in relationships that involve legitimate expectations of trust and honesty, this also imposes the obligation to affirm volunteer information that the other person considers important to know. Okay, one should welcome all the suggestions which are given to the forensic accountant. Okay, that is what honesty here. Honesty comprises of truthfulness, sincerity, and the open mindedness. Next comes integrity. See, integrity means that the members must not knowingly be associated with misleading information and to be straightforward and honest in all professional and business relationships. This is what, in a simple word, integrity means. Next comes promises. The ethical dimension of promise keeping imposes the responsibility of making every reasonable effort to fulfill commitment. The commitment principles implies that long range planning is not really planning for future decisions but rather planning for the future impact of today's decision. So in an organizational context, it means that employees have a moral obligation to perform not only their personal promises and commitments but also those made in the name of the organization. Okay, if the organization promises are fulfilled, then only one can achieve its personal goals or their personal commitments. So this is what promises here says as an ethical principle. Next comes fairness. Fairness embodies the notions of justice, equity, impartiality, transparency, and consistency. It often refers to morally justifiable outcomes rather than the discovery of the fair answer. Transparent in work, no partiality in work. That is what here fairness word says. The next one is respect. The intrinsic right to dignity and autonomy of all individuals. One should respect all the individual's dignity while performing his work. Pursuit of excellence. When a person is in a position of responsibility and other rely upon his or her knowledge, ability to willingness to perform tasks effectively, the pursuit of excellence has an ethical dimension. Pursuit of excellence. Now next comes accountability. Ethical persons accept responsibility for their decisions. An accountable person does not shift blame or accept credit for another person's achievement. Matlab, whatever the decision once made should be accountable for his or her own decision. One should not blame the other person or should not shift the blame of once to the but should not shift the blame of whatever the conducted by him or herself, should not blame the other person for that. And if one has done something good for the organization, then the achievement of that reward should also be given to that person. So this is what the accountability here means. Next comes objectivity. Not to compromise professional or business judgment because of bias, conflict of interest, or undue influence of others. If undertaking an assurance engagement, members must also be and appear to be independent. That is what objectivity here means. Next comes professional competence and due care. To attain and maintain professional knowledge and skill at the level required to ensure that a client or employing organization receives competent professional service based on current technical and professional standards and relevant legislation, and act diligently and in accordance with applicable technical and professional standards. So one should be up to date with its professional knowledge. That is what basically means with the professional competence and due care. Next comes confidentiality. It means what? To respect the confidentiality of information acquired as a result of professional and business relationships. Confidential information must not be disclosed outside the organization without authority unless there is a duty or right to disclose, or disclosure is in the public interest and permitted by the law. So whatever the information is collected, it should be maintained with himself only. It should not be disclosed outside the organization. If it is permitted, then it can be shared with the public, otherwise not. Next comes professional behavior. To comply with relevant laws and regulations and avoid any conduct that the professional accountant knows or should know might discredit the profession. One should not do such work which can discredit his profession. This is what professional behavior is. There is a code of conduct of doing a particular profession, so that comes under the professional behavior. Okay. Now next comes responsibilities of forensic accountant. So forensic accountants perform two important functions, that is litigation support and investigation. Litigation support here means that the former represents the factual presentation of economic issues related to existing litigation. They work with attorneys to determine what damages to seek. Forensic accountant provide litigation support to resolve a case before it ever get to trial. मतलब कोई भी केस ट्रायल जाने से पहले या कोर्ट में जाने से पहले फॉरेंसिक अकाउंटेंट वर्क करता है, लिटिगेशन सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करता है पहले, ताकि जो केस है वो कोर्ट जाने से पहले ही रिजॉल्व हो सके. ठीक है. सो दिस इज व्हाट लिटिगेशन सपोर्ट हियर मीन्स. And it also work with the attorneys to determine whatever the damages may be incurred or how much damages has to be paid. So in this presentation and the preparing of the reports or providing the litigation support to resolve a case before it ever go to trial are the work of the forensic accounting or the responsibility of the forensic accountant. Next comes investigation. Forensic accountants use their knowledge of tax law and accounting practices to investigate all matters of fraudulent bookkeeping, including tax evasion, embezzlement, and money laundering. So basically, forensic accountant investigation, obviously investigation is done by if you have the technical knowledge about the accounting, auditing, and investigation, that is a legal matter. If a forensic accounting has these three technical skills, then only he can use his knowledge in investigating the matters of fraudulent bookkeeping or tax evasion or tampering of financial records, etc. can only be investigated by the forensic accountant if he has the three technical skills, that is the accounting, auditing, and the legal skills. So this is what here investigation means. So these are the two main responsibilities of the forensic accountant, that is the litigation support and investigation. Okay. Now let us see the next duties of forensic accountant. So the primary duties of forensic accountant include, first is conducting forensic analysis of financial data, carrying out forensic investigation. Then next comes extracting data from financial records which can be presented in the court of law. Then preparing data for court of for preparing data for court, whatever the records which has been extracted from the financial records or other financial records by the forensic accountant, it has to be prepared in a formal report and that has to be presented in the court of law. Then performing forensic research to trace funds and identify assets for recovery. Then preventing future frauds by conducting time to time audit routine checkups. Then next comes managing financial records. It is also a very important thing to managing financial records and to see whether there is any mishappening done to these financial records or other records, which are very important from the point of view of the organization. To give an expert testimony if there is a need to be given a witness as a witness, if there is a need in the court of trial to give a expert testimony, then the forensic accountant has to give all the information which he has collected to prove his point in the court of law. The next comes undertaking interviews to uncover and verify information. If there is any fraud done in the accounting information or the other records, then he can undertake the interviews to uncover and verify the information whether he is right or wrong. Then conducting financial audits so that the future frauds can be prevented. So these are the basic duties of forensic accountant. That is conducting forensic analysis, extracting data from financial records, preparing data for court, performing forensic research, preventing future frauds, managing financial records, to give an expert testimony, then undertaking interviews to uncover and verify information, and then conducting financial audits. So these are the primary duties which are being performed by the forensic accountant. So in the last, we have completed all the subtopics of the forensic accounting, and this was the last lecture based on the forensic accounting. I hope you have understood all the terms and all the topics related to the forensic accounting. Thank you.